Are you looking for a movie with a Christmassy feel, which isn't the usual tree and tinsel fare, where nobody's learning the true meaning of Christmas, or how much better life is in a small town over a big city, or trying to save Santa, or Christmas itself? Well, Puka Press is here to the rescue with our list of Christmas-adjacent movies for all ages and tastes. Whenever we discuss our favourite Christmas movies, there's always that one guy, and it's always a guy, who chimes in, "What about Die Hard?" In fact, I'm sure that someone in the comment section will say something like, "You forgot Die Hard." Granted, Die Hard is a great film, but saying it's a great Christmas film is, at this point, well-worn territory. If you're looking for actual Christmas movie alternatives to watch in December, something that takes place during Christmas but isn't It's a Wonderful Life, Miracle on 34th Street, A Christmas Story, or one of the 97 versions of A Christmas Carol. For the record, the best is a 1952 version with Alistair Sim. There are many other Christmas-adjacent movies out there. Movies that have that hint of Christmas, without all of the usual Christmas trappings and lessons. Movies that take place during the festive season, and may feature brightly lit trees and snow, and maybe even a Christmas Carol or two, but aren't about learning the real meaning of Christmas or taking over for Santa because he's injured. We're going to look at some of our favourite movies that take place at Christmas but aren't technically Christmas movies. If you've made viewing Die Hard a family holiday tradition, you might want to check out some of these as well. We're not grading them as they are such different genres, just a list of suggestions for all ages. Three Days of the Condor, 1975. Maybe it's wrong to get a warm and fuzzy feeling from a movie where all of Robert Redford's co-workers are murdered because he gets too close to a government conspiracy, forcing him to go on the run as he's hunted down. But 3 Days of the Condor is such a perfect film, it will become one of your holiday-adjacent favourites anyway. It actually filmed on location in a cold winter in New York City, and it really does feel like a Christmas movie. In one scene, Redford hides from the bad guys in Central Park and buys a pretzel from a vendor while a band plays Good King Wenceslas. And in another, Faye Dunaway buys equipment for a ski trip while Silver Bells plays. Cover-up of 1949. You've probably never heard of this film noir, but it's well worth seeking out. An insurance investigator, Dennis O'Keefe, goes to a small Midwestern town to find out if a suicide victim actually killed himself or was murdered. I'm not sure why he would bother, because if it's a suicide the company wouldn't have to pay out, but then we wouldn't have a mystery. No one, including the sheriff, William Bendix, wants to help the investigator because, well, the victim wasn't very well liked. But he decides to stick around anyway and find out if he can figure out what's going on. And he finds that just about everyone in town is keeping secrets, including the ubiquitous love interest of the protagonist. The producers initially wanted to change the time of year cover-up is set, because they didn't think the plot was appropriate Christmas. But O'Keefe convinced them otherwise. Without giving too much away, Cover-Up has a good twist ending that actually fits the season and makes you think that this isn't such a terrible small town to live in after all. The Apartment, 1960. Is anything Billy Wilder put his name to not a classic? Well, this comedy drama certainly is. A business executive, Jack Lemmon, lets his bosses use his apartment for their extramarital affairs and trysts. This could have been set at any time of year, but the Christmas to New Year's setting adds a nice touch of melancholy to the proceedings, and it's easy to see how it was one of the inspirations for Mad Men. There's a jolly drunk Santa ringing a bell in a bar, decorations adorn all of New York City, and Fred McMurray, one of Lemon's cheating bosses, decorates a Christmas tree with the family while hiding the fact that he's seeing other women. Lemon, Shirley MacLaine as a mixed-up girl Lemon finds himself falling for, and McMurray are all great. The whole cast is flawless, in fact, and the film went on to win several Oscars, including Best Picture, Best Writing and Best Director. Batman Returns 1992. People generally don't think much of Batman Returns, perhaps because they can't get past the grossness of Danny DeVito's sad penguin character, or because some of the set pieces, all of those carnival people, are over the top. Like most of the Batman pictures, it's got too much going on and too many villains. But I would argue that Batman Returns is the most underrated of the Batman movies. Make no mistake, it's an unbelievably weird superhero movie, and probably wasn't what fans at the studio were expecting. It's by Tim Burton and features a penguin funeral and a scene where DeVito gnaws on raw fish. But it works. With so many scenes set in the snow, it's this wintry superhero noir. Sort of Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, before The Nightmare Before Christmas. Walken's bad guy, a character who looks like he just stepped out of a Christmas Carol, makes a big public speech in front of a giant Christmas tree. And at one point, the wonderful Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman gets a warning from Batman that mistletoe can be deadly if you eat it. With the even better retort, a kiss can be even deadlier if you mean it. Even the famous bat signal, lighting up the dark winter sky, could pass for a Christmas decoration if you look at it the right way. The Long Kiss Goodnight, 1996. Writer Shane Black really loves Christmas. Even if they aren't Christmas-centric, many of his movies are set during the holidays, including Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Lethal Weapon, The Nice Guys, and this actioner where amnesiastic housewife Gina Davis suddenly remembers that she used to be a spy. She can bake Christmas meals but also knows how to karate chop enemy agents. Like a lot of Black's movies, The Long Kiss Goodnight is outrageous. Davis shoots at the bad guys with a machine gun while holding her child. Several deer get their necks broken. And there's a torture scene, all set to Christmas music like It Came Upon a Midnight Clear, God Bless You Merry Gentlemen, Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow, and Jingle Bells. It's subversive, funny, serious, and a non-Christmas Christmas classic, all at the same time. You've Got Mail, 1998. Admittedly, very little of this film actually takes place at Christmas. Children's bookstore owner Kathleen, played by Meg Ryan, starts to correspond over email with big bad bookstore exec Joe, played by Tom Hanks, in autumn, and the movie ends in spring, but the Christmas section in the middle is undeniably powerful. Kathleen decorates her tree alone and starts to reminisce about the Christmases she used to spend with her mum, whom she misses dearly. She also makes the observation that Joni Mitchell's River is such a sad song and not really about Christmas at all. That line could describe You've Got Mail too, but the Christmas scenes are so vital to the plot that it would be wrong not to call it a Christmas-adjacent movie. You can also watch You've Got Mail as a tribute to AOL Instant Messenger, which is now defunct. Joe and Kathleen are probably on WhatsApp now. Meet Me in St. Louis from 1944. Taking place over 1 year in the life of the Smith family as they look forward to the 1904 World's Fair. Meet Me in St. Louis focuses on daughters Rose, Lucille Bramer, Esther, Judy Garland, who would go on to marry director Vincent Minnelli, with whom she would have daughter Liza, Agnes, played by Joan Carroll, and Tootie, a scene-stealing Margaret O'Brien. Esther's blossoming relationship with the boy next door, John Truitt, played by Tom Drake, is threatened when the girl's father announces that the family is to move to New York. Matters come to a head at an elegant Christmas Eve ball, when proposals are made and realizations occur. Featuring such beloved musical numbers as Under the Bamboo Tree, The Trolley Song, and Garland's heartbreakingly poignant rendition of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, it's no surprise that the film has become a Christmas classic. The Thin Man, 1934. In my experience, people rarely recall that The Thin Man is set at Christmas, and that's what makes it a great Christmas-adjacent movie. Retired San Francisco detective Nick Charles and his rich wife Nora, that's William Powell and Myrna Loy, are spending the holidays in New York City. John Updike once said that New York City was the capital of the American Christmas, and watching these movies you can see what he meant. Naturally, they agree to investigate a case involving the disappearance of a friend and a murder. It's witty and fun and well-paced, and there's more than one scene with the couple enjoying a Christmas cocktail or two. There's also a scene where Nick lays on the couch and shoots balloons off of the Christmas tree with a gun, terrifying a dog. Iron Man 3, 2013. Yes, Iron Man 3 really is a Christmas-adjacent movie. Not only does it include a scene wherein Tony Stark, that's Robert Downey Jr., hides out from the bad guys in a small town, decorated for Christmas. He also buys a ridiculously big bunny as a Christmas gift for Pepper, played by Gwyneth Paltrow. And of course there's a scene where Stark dances to a funky version of Jingle Bells while trying out the Iron Man technology. Blast of Silence is 1961. Unlike Cover Up, there's ultimately nothing overtly Christmassy about this stylish, low-budget crime drama about a hitman, Alan Barron, who also wrote and directed the film, who comes to New York City for a job, but it's beautifully shot on location by cinematographer Merrill Brody, and like The Apartment, features some outstanding scenes of Christmas in Manhattan in the early 1960s. Those scenes serve as sort of a travelogue of what New York City looked like in December during that time, and give the film a "this is really Christmas" vibe you don't usually get in movies like this. Ultimately, though, the black and white and grey visuals simply serve as a cold, bleak tableau for the loneliness that fills the film, and it has a downbeat ending that proves that nobody gets out of this world alive. Harry Potter could be a list unto itself, from Carol of Ghosts in The Philosopher's Stone to Slughorn's Christmas Party and Christmas at the Burrow in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, where Harry joins the Weasleys for Christmas and he gets closer with Ginny. First they end up alone on the couch and she feeds him Christmas pies when Ron unceremoniously ruins the moment and sits between them. Later the two of them meet up on the stairs and they almost kiss when the Burrow is attacked by Death Eaters. That makes this a Christmas scene that quickly goes from heartwarming to harrowing. It proves that this franchise covers every genre within the holidays. We also had the Hogsmeade trip in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, and Snow in the Great Hall in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, and the kiss under the mistletoe in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Not with Ginny, oops. But the two most Christmassy scenes have to be the Weasley Christmas in Order of the Phoenix, and of course the Yule Ball in Goblet of Fire. Now we come to Love Actually of 2003. Celebrating its 21st birthday this year, does that make you feel as old as it does me? It is generally accepted as an actual Christmas movie, but I would argue it is actually a Christmas-adjacent movie. All the tales of love and requited love, infidelity and friendship are set in the run-up to Christmas rather than on the day itself. 9 intertwined stories examine the complexities of the one emotion that connects us all, love. Among the characters explored are David, played by Hugh Grant, the handsome newly elected British Prime Minister who falls for a young junior staffer, Martine McCutcheon. Sarah, played by Laura Linney, a graphic designer whose devotion to a mentally ill brother complicates her love life, and Harry, played by Alan Rickman, a married man tempted by his attractive new secretary. Gremlins 1984. A cautionary tale about sticking to the rules. With its Christmas lights and dusting of snow, Kingston Falls is an idyllic small town, until the Gremlins take over. A father returns from Chinatown with an unusual pet, a mogwai, a gift for his son. The rules are simple. Keep your mogwai away from water, bright lights, and, most importantly, never feed him after midnight. but the rules are inadvertently broken and the consequences multiply at an alarming rate. Trading Places, 1983. Upper crust executive Lewis Winthorpe III, played by Dan Aykroyd, and down-and-out hustler Billy Ray Valentine, played by Eddie Murphy, are the subjects of a bet by successful brokers Mortimer, Don Amici, and Randolph Duke, Ralph Bellamy. An employee of the Dukes, Winthorpe is framed by the brothers for a crime he didn't commit, with the siblings then installing the street-smart Valentine in his position. When Winthorpe and Valentine uncover the scheme, they set out to turn the tables on the Dukes. The Christmas party with a very drunk Winthorpe, dressed as Santa, definitely brings this movie onto the list. Although, spoilers, another list we have planned on the best screen Santas probably won't feature Dan Aykroyd. Reindeer Games of 2000. In a prison near Iron Mountain, Michigan, cellmates Nick Cassidy and Rudy Duncan are 2 days from release. Nick has been exchanging letters with a young woman named Ashley Mercer, although they have never met. He plans to meet Ashley after being released, while Rudy wants to join his family in Sydney for Christmas. A fight then breaks out in the prison and Nick is supposedly killed while protecting Rudy. Upon release, Rudy poses as Nick and meets Ashley. They go to a diner, then have sex in a cabin. The two are then kidnapped by Gabriel, Ashley's gang leader brother. He tells Rudy that the gang, composed of Pug, Merlin and Jumpy, are planning to rob a casino when Nick used to work, before going to prison. Rudy protests that he is not Nick, but Ashley reveals that she wrote to him, knowing Gabriel would use him for the robbery. Realising that he will likely be killed if they learn that he knows nothing about the casino, Rudy resumes the ruse. These are just our picks of the many Christmas-adjacent movies out there, but if you have any more, please leave them in the comments. If you don't like any of these, there is always Die Hard. And of course, if you get bored with movies altogether, you can always join us on here. Please hit the subscribe button and the notification to keep up with all we will be producing over Christmas and in 2025. But until next time, stay healthy and safe. Goodbye.